Imagine a quiet village in southern France, where the air smells of pine trees, the streets are silent after dark, and everyone knows everyone else's business. It's the kind of place where nothing ever happens, until something does. On a cold December night in 2020, that peace shattered forever when a 33-year-old nurse and mother of two named Delphine Jubillar vanished without a trace. Delphine wasn't the kind of person to disappear. She was devoted to her children, passionate about her work and loved by her friends. People described her as calm, patient and full of life. She had dreams, small ones but deeply human. She wanted to move into a new house, decorate her own space, and start a new chapter away from her failing marriage. She had been seeing another man, discreetly, cautiously, and had confided to her friends that she was ready to separate officially from her husband, Cedric Jubillar. But fate never gave her that new beginning. December 15, 2020. It's late in the evening in the village of Cagnac-les-Mines. Delphine has just put her two young children, Louis and Elia, to bed. Around 10 p.m., she messages her friends, joking about her Christmas preparations and the new year ahead. Her tone is light, cheerful. Nothing seems wrong. Around 11 p.m., her phone goes silent. No more messages. No calls. Just nothing. When Cedric wakes up around 4 a.m., he claims his wife isn't home. He says her pajamas were missing, and he assumed she took their dog, Gnocchi, for a walk. But when dawn breaks and she's still not back, he calls the police. Officers arrive at the scene, a modest house in a quiet cul-de-sac, and immediately something feels off. Her phone is gone. Her car is still in the driveway. Her keys, purse and glasses are untouched. There's no sign of a break-in. No struggle. No trace of her footprints leading away from the house. The first thought, she ran away. But why? Delphine adored her children. Everyone who knew her swore she would never abandon them. So, if she didn't leave willingly, then what really happened? By morning, the sleepy town transforms into a search zone. Police dogs, drones, helicopters, and hundreds of volunteers sweep the area. Every ditch, every path, every abandoned building, searched. The nearby Tarn River is checked for miles. Yet there's nothing. Not a shoe. Not a strand of hair. It's as if the earth opened up and swallowed her whole. As investigators dig into Delphine's private life, they uncover the reality of her crumbling marriage. She and Cedric were living under the same roof but leading separate lives. Friends describe Delphine as emotionally distant from him, focusing instead on her children and her newfound relationship with another man, a man she met online who lived several hours away. She was making plans to move out once the divorce finalized. Those plans, according to police, might have sealed her fate. Neighbors told investigators that they heard shouting late that night. A woman's voice, sharp, emotional. Then silence. Police began suspecting Cedric might know more than he was admitting. His demeanor, they said, didn't match that of a desperate husband. While everyone else searched the fields and forests, he was seen calmly smoking outside his house, chatting casually with officers. When questioned, he gave inconsistent statements about the night she disappeared, sometimes saying he went to bed at midnight, other times claiming it was later. Over time, police pieced together a chilling theory, that Delphine may have told her husband that night that she was leaving him for good. Something in him snapped. And whatever happened next happened fast, and inside that house. But without a body, proving murder was nearly impossible. Months turned into half a year and public interest grew into obsession. Social media buzzed with theories. Some believed Cedric killed her and hid her body in an old mine shaft or construction site. Others believed Delphine ran away, perhaps with her lover. But then, in June 2021, investigators made a bold move. They arrested Cedric Jubillar and charged him with his wife's murder, without ever finding her remains. The French public was stunned. A husband charged with murder, no evidence of a body and no confession. But prosecutors believed they had enough circumstantial evidence. They pointed to his inconsistencies, his jealousy, and his behavior after her disappearance. Witnesses came forward claiming that Cedric had mocked the investigation, even joking that no one would ever find her. He allegedly told one of his fellow inmates that he knew exactly where Delphine's body was buried. When police searched the area based on those hints, they found nothing. The case became one of France's most followed mysteries, covered daily by the media. The courtroom scenes were filled with raw emotion. Delphine's mother weeping for her missing daughter, Cedric maintaining his innocence with cold defiance. His lawyers argued that there was no physical proof of a crime. No blood, no weapon, no remains. Just suspicion. They claimed Delphine left of her own will, perhaps overwhelmed, perhaps starting anew elsewhere. But her family refuses to believe that. They know Delphine would never abandon her kids. They've kept her memory alive with posters, vigils, and marches, begging anyone with information to come forward. Each passing year, hope fades a little more, but they continue to fight for justice. Police have dug up countless sites, drained ponds, searched forests, and revisited mines, but the results are always the same: nothing. It's been almost 5 years now. 5 years of silence. 5 years of questions that have no answers. And the most haunting part? Despite Cedric being imprisoned, there's still no closure. The children are growing up without their mother, haunted by the absence of truth. The story of Delphine Jubillar is more than a mystery. It's a psychological labyrinth, where love turned to resentment, where domestic silence masked hidden storms, and where a mother's disappearance has divided an entire nation. Each new witness, each rumor, each court hearing only deepens the shadows. And so the world keeps asking the same question, the one that echoes through the hills of southern France every night. Where is Delphine Jubillar? Was she a victim of rage? A casualty of control? Or did she somehow choose to vanish forever? Until her body is found, until someone finally tells the truth, this will remain one of Europe's most haunting and unsolved disappearances. A story that blurs the line between tragedy and mystery, between guilt and innocence. Because sometimes the most terrifying stories are the ones that never end.